Hello, hello, hello. Terry Brock here, and I hope you are doing well today. Wanted to come on here with a special announcement that you will find most interesting if you are an entrepreneur or you're interested in making money and getting out there and really seeing more possibilities internationally. Because something happened today. There was a major announcement. When I saw that, I thought, oh my goodness, I knew about this before, and now we're seeing it in other ways too. Zoom has made an announcement today that can really help you as an entrepreneur. You might have heard about this too. Over here, let's take a look at it right here. There was an announcement that Zoom is going to acquire a company called Kites GmbH. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly because this is a German company and I don't speak German, so I don't know what it is, but I look at what they're talking about here. They said today, well, here, I'm in the way, gotta move this back, make me a little bit smaller so you can see it. There we go. So today we're excited to announce that we have signed a definitive agreement to acquire Karlsruhe Information Technology Solution. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And that's dedicated to developing, get this, real-time machine translation. That is amazing. Real-time machine translation, which means, hey, that's something that can really open up a lot of possibilities for people. Apparently, they were founded by some people in Germany, very smart, putting these together, and they're looking forward ways to develop. I love the way they said this here. We are continuously looking for new ways to deliver happiness to our users and improve meeting productivity. And MT, that's Machine Translation Solutions, will be key to enhancing our platform for Zoom customers across the globe, said Velkemi Sen-Garlingham, who's the president of product and engineering at Zoom. Well, I think this is just amazing when you think about the possibilities that are there and what can be done with it. Because now you're going to be able to sit down, talk with people around the world, literally, and be able to understand them. This is something that we've seen coming about in several areas. Matter of fact, I had an interview a while back, you might have heard this before, that really impressed me as to what can be done with this and how this is coming about, what's going on with it, because the capabilities are nothing short of amazing. When you think about you being able to communicate and talk with someone in another country, another place, another part of the world, hey, it could be your own country, who speaks a different language, so that you speak in your language and they speak in theirs. This is pretty amazing. Think about the commerce opportunities it's going to open up. And for me, my hero, you might know, is Andrew Carnegie. Studied his life, the Scotsman who came over to the United States. And yes, it is Carnegie, not Carnegie, but Carnegie. And what he came up with is the idea of we would have technology. They saw a lot of technological advancements in his day, enormous progress. But his heart was broken because World War I came and it created a world war. He was hoping to have peace. Well, now we're reaching a point where maybe we can forestall another world war or other wars and just let people start talking to each other. I'm talking about people to people, real people, not necessarily the rulers of the countries, but rather we have real people doing it. I think there's some opportunities for this, and it's got some amazing capabilities. And in fact, it reminds me of something that I had happen to me a few years ago, about 3 years ago. It was an interview that I had with Kyo Zhang. He's the general manager of Alibaba.com, works right there with Jack Ma. And he was talking about new ventures they were making and the whole thing. You can watch the whole video right there. But I want to share with you something that's really exciting. Think about this. I'm talking to you entrepreneurs, you Agorapreneurs who believe in entrepreneurial endeavors in a peaceful way, all done voluntarily. Agorapreneurs. That's what it's about. Listen to this. It's about a 3-minute or so interview, and get ready for some excitement as you listen to Kyo Zhang. And by the way, this was his first ever English language interview. They asked me to do it. I was very honored, and my chills, and literally, don't tell him this, but Kyo, if you're watching this, hey, it was great to see you. It really was, but chills were going up and down my spine then when you talked about this, knowing this is breaking news, and Alibaba is now announcing it. And I'm there getting an exclusive interview. So listen to this excerpt here of the possibilities, what they do with communication. Think about how you can use these same principles in your own business.
So we are building a platform to make sure the business people and the business people can do the trading together. And now we are doing from sourcing to trading. And that requires a lot of technology. For example, the first example is that how we can enable the people to communicate right. right? Was the first point you mentioned. So whenever a businessman, like a supplier, posts a product, it may post it in English to describe about their product functionalities and the specs. And then we translate that to another 16 languages, right? So the people all over the world from 200 countries can understand what he's doing. And then there's just two business people need to sit together and to discuss, to have more conversations to make sure the contracts is right. And then we'll bring the lifetime translations for them. So when the business people talk to people, but first of all is that they need to understand each other, what they are talking about, kind of a human, human familiar way, of human friendly way. Yeah. And also, it should be in a business scenarios. So every word should be accurate to make sure that they can understand each other and form up the contract. And that conversation can be back and forth. And since it's a B2B environment, that we can focusing on how we can get this business translation right for different languages.
Yeah, and one of the things that I'm really fascinated with what you're doing, as you and I were talking about this before, it's almost like Star Trek. It's like science fiction that you are doing, where you can talk into a screen in one language, like I can use English, and Mandarin is your native language, so you could then listen to it and do it. By the way, you're doing very well in English too, and we can translate back and forth. Tell us a little bit about that and the technology behind that, which is almost like literally something out of Star Trek.
Yeah. So we can share a few findings that we are doing this kind of technology. So first of all, so when we're doing this, is not only we are getting the people to understand each other, but also we need to consider a few things. So first, when you translate the product, it's not only human friendly, it also need to be translated for the search engines, so they can index right and can be searched all over the world.
Ooh, that's a good point, what he just said. You don't do it just for the humans, but for the search engines. That is brilliant.
Yeah. And second of all is this kind of business area. So when we're talking about the business area, it helps us to reduce a lot of noises. For example, the AI in consumer side, that you need to reduce the noise from the television, from the background noise. Actually, it's a B2B conversation. We can focus 100% on the content itself.
That is nothing short of amazing. That what they are doing and what Alibaba is doing is pretty amazing. And now we're seeing Zoom do that and make that announcement today. I want you to start thinking about this. Be ahead of the game. Don't just react when something happens and you go, oh, gee, I got on it after 80% of the population got there. Start thinking about how you can develop relationships in other countries, other places around the world, and be able to start working with them. And when you can talk to people just as if you were talking to someone in your own native language, hey, that'll be really, really good. And so you can see the whole interview over there at bit.ly Alibaba_Terry Brock. Notice that's all in lowercase. You might want to get a screenshot of that real quickly so you can say, okay, let's go over and take a look at that. A lot of good information that's there that you can use. So I think it's pretty amazing when we see what's going on and the opportunities and what we can do with that. It's really, really nice. Matter of fact, getting some comments here on this. Tim Rickett, yeah, he was 5'3". Okay, Tim, that's the exact number that we heard from someone else about Joe Rogan. Is that right? But I didn't measure, but I found that he was a absolutely incredible guy. Really nice. By the way, nice to hear from you, Tim. Really appreciate you stopping by here. Good to always see you. And got another comment here from Gary O'Sullivan. Thanks for keeping us informed. You bet, Gary. Glad to do it. This is a pretty dramatic intervention. Matter of fact, Gary, I know you do some work and have done work in Central America and other places around the world in your industry where you are the guru of talking about sales and processes and things like that. This has some real possibilities. You and I have talked before about the importance of learning Spanish, for example. Well, what if I could talk into a system? I speak in English, but it's immediately translated into correct Spanish, and then they hear it in their native language of Spanish, say Central America, South America, or other places, or really in the United States itself, where there'll be people we make that contact. I think it's just pretty amazing when we see the possibilities that we have for this, and for me, it's just, I think, flat out exciting to see this kind of thing coming about now and working with it as well. And yeah, Elaine, glad to help out on on that. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you being here. But these kind of developments open up the possibility. So this is something I've done throughout my career. I see what's coming, and I'm kind of called a crazy guy, and I am, kind of wild and crazy, but I'm seeing things that are coming and saying, hey, here's what you can do. And people are going, oh, come on, Terry, we're not doing that. We don't do that. Or what is that? I remember when I would talk about a DVD when they first came out. You remember DVDs. They're not even used very much now anyway. But DVD, and people said, oh, is that some kind of an underwear? He. And I go, no, this is the way you're going to do it. No, we got our VHS. We'll be using that. Well, and I said, no, you're going to use it. And then the internet thingy came out. Yeah, and the internet thingy even bigger, and social media. And I was talking about that. So I tend to try to see, where are we going? The old Wayne Gretzky thing, don't go where the puck is, but where the puck is going. Well, that's what we've got to do. And here's your chance. Here's your chance to do that, to say, okay, this is where we are, and this is where we're moving in there. And by the way, Gary comes back here. I dialed in late. Is Zoom making that available in the near future? Yes, Gary, they're buying a company over in Germany that does MT, machine translation. And so it's not going to happen literally tomorrow, but I think we're going to be seeing things like that. And so I could see possibilities. I don't know exactly what's going on. I'm not privy to all the conversations they have at Zoom, but I am aware that they are doing a lot on the cutting edge. And this has some real potential for us. I think the bottom line is that we can start now looking at what others are doing, how they're doing it, and the kind of features that are there. And then how can we take that and expand our business beyond just those who speak our own native language? Really some good things there. And Laura Marie, hey, I'm glad you like it too. Yeah, it is pretty exciting. I think this opens up some worldwide benefits. But the thing that I really want more than anything is for this to be not only good in business. Oh yeah, that's good. We want it for business, but also for world peace. As I mentioned before, as Andrew Carnegie would talk about, we want that peace. What if we had people around the world, real people, not the government and the rulers and all that, and the yahoos and the knuckleheads that are in the governing parts of it, but rather real people talking to real people, and they're getting to know them. I've had the chance and the blessing to be able to go in different countries around the world and get to know people who are Japanese, who are Chinese, who are Arabs, who are Germans or British, down in Argentina, Mexico, all over the world. And I find, hey, people are people. We all breathe oxygen. We're all pumping red blood. We all want to be better next year than this year, than we were last year, than we are this year. People want the best for their children. They want life usually to be better for their children. Find that's the way people are. And so this is where we can start connecting as human beings and be able to say, hey, let's find ways that we can connect person to person so that this way we get a chance to make the world a better place, make the world a safer place, so that instead of saying, oh, our rulers told us that these people over here in this country are bad and we ought to start shooting at them and throw bombs or whatever, instead, we try for a peaceful approach. I know I'm an idealist. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one, as John Lennon told us in the song. But I think that we've got some opportunities there, and this is something that's going to be real good. Well, hey, I'd love to hear from you. If you're catching this on the recording, by all means, please leave a comment. Let us know. We'll be monitoring this to catch up with what's happening and what's going on, and look forward to seeing you on the various channels. By the way, we're doing this through Restream right now, so that we're getting people joining us from many different places, on being able to watch it on LinkedIn, on Facebook, being able to watch it on Twitter, and over on YouTube. So we're going out to all those different channels at the same time. And not only at the same time, but also simultaneously. Yeah, I know I like to say that, but it's for one of those things that really good. Restream is a tool that I really like, and I'd recommend take a peek at that. So I'm Terry Brock. Thanks for joining me. Leave a message below, and I will look forward to catching up with you a little bit farther on down the road.